Please watch to the end. Comment and respond to other people's comments.
Allegheny County Police say Charles Stipetich was off duty when the shooting happened in Blawnox late last night. They also say a man is in the hospital, and that is the person who shot him. We have team coverage on this deadly off-duty officer shooting. KDK investigator Andy Sheehan just talked to the parents of the officer who was killed. But first, KDK's Chris Hoffman has the very latest on the incident itself and what we know about the suspect, 40-year-old Kevin McSwiggen.
According to the criminal complaint, Kevin McSwiggen was brought to UPMC Presbyterian Hospital after getting into that shooting with the off-duty Oakdale police officer. Court papers say Blawnox police got the call for a shooting in the 400 block of Fountain Street around 10:35 Sunday night. The victim's father waved down police and they provided first aid until EMS arrived. Police say Stipetich was taken to Allegheny General Hospital where he later died.
We all feel it a little bit. You know, we're all brothers and sisters. So.
Just a horrible tragedy.
Officers then learned the alleged shooter was McSwiggen. This is video of him from a prior court case. He was hit by gunfire as well. As he went into an ambulance, an officer heard him saying the shooting stemmed from a road rage incident. Stipetich graduated from the IUP Police Academy last month.
I know he was thrilled to get into law enforcement, and when I spoke to him a few days ago, anxious to start his first police job.
Investigators found a dash cam in McSwiggen's car. Video allegedly shows him following Stipetich and cussing at him along the way. The two get into an argument outside of their vehicles on Fountain Street, and that's when Stipetich's father gets between them. Officers say the video shows the three men leaving the frame, and then gunfire is heard. Stipetich comes back into frame with an apparent wound. Meanwhile, McSwiggen points his gun at the victim's father. That's when Stipetich allegedly shoots McSwiggen. Allegheny County Police say McSwiggen is under police guard at the hospital. He will then go to the Allegheny County Jail.
Right now at 6, we are looking at newly obtained dash camera footage of the road rage shooting that ended in the death of an off-duty police officer.
The suspect was in court today for a preliminary hearing. He's charged with homicide in the death of Charles Stipetich.
We start tonight with KDK's Jessica Guay, who was in the courtroom. She's live downtown right now with the latest. Jess.
That dash camera footage shows how road rage turned into an altercation and then a deadly shooting. The family's attorney thinks that video will help them get justice, but the defense attorney says they believe it'll help the suspect's case. Charles Stipetich's father testified, saying his son called him that night, telling him to come outside as someone was following him on their street. It was a difficult day for the family of Oakdale police officer Charles Stipetich. His father, Charles P. Stipetich, testified in front of his son's alleged killer, Kevin McSwiggen. Dash cam footage from McSwiggen's truck on the night of July 3rd was shown in court.
Really?
Stipetich was off duty driving in a red Ford Taurus on Freeport Road in Blawnox when he got into another lane.
I've been more than happy to around with you like this.
McSwiggen can be heard cursing as he follows Stipetich until he parks his car in front of his home on Fountain Street. McSwiggen gets out to confront Stipetich.
Hey, do you not know what the... Excuse me? You learn how to drive. You learn how to drive.
Then Stipetich's father gets between them. His father said in court he saw McSwiggen reach for something, so he grabbed McSwiggen's arm and shirt. They leave the frame and a gunshot is heard. Investigators say after Stipetich was shot, McSwiggen pointed a gun at Stipetich's dad, who puts his hands up, and his son shot McSwiggen, injuring him. Charges of criminal homicide and 2 counts of recklessly endangering another person were held for court.
Well, as you can imagine, they're very distraught, and they're just trying to get justice for their son, Chucky. So this is the first step in the process.
Prosecutors believe McSwiggen intended to kill. McSwiggen's attorney does not agree. He believes this could be a self-defense case.
You could see that this was a fight, and unfortunately, 2 people got shot, and one lost his life on that day. Did my client intend to kill that young man? No. Did my client know that he was a law enforcement officer? No. It was an unfortunate set of circumstances, and today we heard how it played out.
Stipetich's father said after the shootings, his son looked at him and said, "Dad, I'm shot," and then handed his gun to his dad, who held McSwiggen at gunpoint until police arrived on scene.
He was always a great man, great, honest, always smiling, always laughing. And the way that we will honor him is by continuing to doing our jobs as being Marines and war fighters.
Prosecutors say McSwiggen was angry that Stipetich had pulled in front of him on the road. McSwiggen's own dashcam video captured it all. McSwiggen's family spoke in court, too, to ask for leniency. His 14-year-old son told the court his dad would never purposely hurt another person. And then Kevin McSwiggen stood up, telling the judge, quote, "I'm sorry that a person so young has lost his life. I feel for his family. I feel for my family." Then he added, quote, "I protected myself against a situation that the father had started," placing blame on Charles Stipetich, who came outside when his son pulled up with McSwiggen following him. Stipetich Sr. was in the courtroom to hear those accusations about a night he thinks of often.
I'll never forget it. I mean, and for him to come in and say that this was all my fault when he followed my son home and he drew the weapon. I went out in short pants with no shoes on. I didn't go out to fight.
We can begin to celebrate holidays again, feeling as though justice has been served. And I'm just thankful I was his mom.
In addition to the 20 to 40 years, Kevin McSwiggen also faces 6 to 12 months for recklessly endangering another person. That sentence was posed because the judge says he threatened this victim's father. Reporting live downtown, Marcy Cipriani, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.
The judge sentenced Kevin McSwiggen to up to 40 years in prison for the 2022 shooting death of an Oakdale police officer who was off duty. McSwiggen shot and killed Charles Stipetich after a road rage incident on Route 28.